What's up? Blaze Webster here, and in case you haven't heard, they have now released a reveal trailer for Mafia 3. Now, just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I have been a Mafia fan ever since the second one came out. I first played this about the time it came out at a friend's house, and I figured, you know what, this game is awesome, I better go get it. And you know, it was. And I loved every minute of this game. You know, it's not as open worldy as, say, Grand Theft Auto, but it's definitely a good one. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. Now this one, my microphone just fell down. Okay, so, and then this next one is the first Mafia game that I played afterwards because I first knew about Mafia 2. So, and then I went back in time, played Mafia 1, and, you know, the gameplay, in my opinion, isn't as good, but the storyline and just how it's a lot more open-worldy, you know, Mafia 2, I think, has a much better story. You may disagree with me on that, but, I mean, the story in this is great, too. I felt that the whole story with Vito and Joe and all of that it felt really natural, and everything was great. The animation was great, the voice acting was superb, and it felt like I was playing a movie where, you know, as this one, it just kind of seemed like Grand Theft Auto in the 1930s. But, I mean, it's still a great game. I love it. It's just, in a lot of ways, I prefer Mafia 2. So, after watching the reveal trailer for Mafia 3, I am currently very excited for it. It's not really what I expected. I had expected it to be more around just a continuation of Mafia 2, just right there. I was kind of dreaming about it being about Vito and Joe again, but now that I've seen this new trailer, it's making me more excited to see these new characters because Lincoln Clay, I think, is the name of the main character. He seems really interesting to me. He's African American, which is something new for protagonists. The rest of the protagonists in the other two games were both Italian Americans. So it's really interesting to see someone who's not Italian being the main character, and that's another thing I want to point out. It looks like it's set in a place like New Orleans. It's probably going to be a made-up city, but it's going to be based off of New Orleans, like how Mafia 1 was based off of San Francisco and Mafia 2 was based off of New York City. Mafia 3 looks like it's going to be based off of New Orleans. And what I've heard is that it's going to be the black mob versus the Italian mob. And, you know, during the trailer you get to see some of the main characters. You have the main character, obviously Clay, and then you have another African American woman, and then you have two other characters. One of them just so happens to be Vito Scaletta from Mafia 2. And, you know, that's really cool. I love how they tied it in to Mafia 3, just like how Mafia 2, Tommy Angelo, who is the person you play as in the first game, makes little appearance in Mafia 2. So I'm glad that Vito is coming back, and it looks like Vito has a little bit more, what do you call it? He has more screen time in this game, I think, and he has more screen time in Mafia 3, which is really cool. And just looking at the front cover, it really reminds me of just the main cover to Mafia 2, and you know, that's really cool. I think it's cool that it's very similar to it, and you know, that's probably what's going to be the actual cover art. So in terms of, did I like the trailer? I loved it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was great, and I'm really excited to see what they do here. Like I said, it looks like it's the black mob versus the Italian mob, and you know, it looks like Clay has, you know, what I've heard is that he was betrayed by the Italian mob, and it's interesting that Vito Scaletta, who was in the Italian mob, is now working with Clay. So that kind of puts it into question, why isn't Vito Scaletta still in the Italian mob? And I guess what my theory is that maybe at the end of Mafia 2 when all that stuff happened with Joe presumably getting killed. Maybe that showed him the horrors of, you know, the Italian mob, and maybe he escaped from Empire Bay and went down to this new New Orleans area that the game is going to take place in. I don't know if that's the case, but it would make a lot of sense if it was. I mean, it's just speculation. It's going to be a little while before the game's released. So I'm excited. I'm excited. It's going to probably be a little while, and you know, I'm just excited to see what more, you know, what happens from there on out. We're going to probably get some more trailers, probably going to get some more gameplay videos, and honestly, I am quite excited. So this is Blaze Webster signing out.